My name's Ben, and together with my friend Ross, we created this business called Dice Ideas. What we do is we take the everyday object, the dice, and order tens of thousands of them and basically arrange them into patterns to make mosaics and portraits of people's faces. The process of creating a piece from start to finish, what we would do first is kind of say how big we want the piece to be, how many dice we want it to include. We've typically decided that the minimum number of dice we should use is around 10,000. Any lower than that and you start to lose a lot of the definition. The size of work that we're typically building is around 6 by 4 foot and it weighs about 50 kilograms. Once we know the size of the piece that we want to create, we'll then build the frame from ply. Once we've got the frame to the size that we want, that's when we'd start laying the dice. Using Photoshop, we basically create a kind of render before we start, so we roughly know how it's going to look, and then you're just matching the shades with the shades and the light and the dark. We basically used black dice with white dots because they give the best contrast, so we did try a few things with white dice and black spots in different colours, but you just can't get the same contrast. It can be quite therapeutic. Normally we would put some music on or listen to a podcast. Once we've laid the dice, we just use a waterproof adhesive to glue the dice to the backboard. I think it's important that people are able to physically run their hand over the dice and physically see each individual dice up close. It's almost like more of a wow factor, I think, when you step back, whereas if they were just behind glass and you couldn't touch them, you couldn't see them individually, then it would probably lose its effect a little bit. We finished the frame off with an aluminium trim. We just think it offsets the contrast of the dice quite nicely with the colour. We would characterise them as interactive because you can see different things from different angles. Up close, you can't really tell always what the piece is, but as you step back, move 5 metres back maybe, the picture then starts to appear out of all the dots. To complete a piece probably takes between 60 and 80 hours. We love to be creative, so this really fits in that category nicely. It's just good fun to create the content and create pieces that people seem to enjoy looking at. There's a lot of satisfaction from that as well.